Hey everyone, so this is the kind of video that I haven't done in actually ages, and if you follow me on my other kind of social network platforms you might know that I was on a bit of a buying ban when it comes to makeup for the last month or so, apart from literally like picking up one or two things here and there, and I finally broke that with a trip to a local pharmacy that sells Catrice products. And of course I only went in to look at one thing and ended up coming out in true Siobhán style with about 10 things. I have the receipt here so I'll be able to tell you the price as I go along, and I think I'll just do like a first impressions video because this is me opening the stuff pretty much for the first time. I decided to leave it for now. I'll just dive into it. I'll start first of all, actually this headband that I have on me, I got it there. It's in the We Care pharmacies here in Galway. I just think that this is absolutely gorgeous. I love cameo brooches and cameos in general, and this is just a really cute headband, and it's quite small. I find a lot of headbands tend to be too big for my head, so I was really happy that I found one that fits me. And I'm just after realising actually that I'm wearing the same jumper that I wore in my last video. It's my cat jumper from Romwe.com. If you are interested I'll leave a link below, but I've just been living in it lately, so I'm going to have to make sure I don't wear that in my next video. So I'll start off with what you can see here. On my nails I have two, well, one of the nail varnishes and one of the nail effects thingies. So the pink nail varnish is this guy here, and it's the Ultimate Nail Lacquer, number 28, You Better Think Pink. It's just a really lovely kind of it. It's more of like a coral pink. I think that's really, really cute. I did actually pick up another nail varnish the last day. This I did wear in my last video, the Tangerine Screen Makeup Tutorial one, and it's this gorgeous baby blue nail varnish. Follow me on Instagram as well, I did post a picture of it, and this is limited edition and it's called Plate Blue. So that's from their kind of pastel collection that's out at the moment. And then this is also from that collection, and it's this gorgeous, I didn't really know what it was until I tried it. It's a 3D nail effect. I kind of thought it would be nail varnish, but it's actually pearls. So they're just these tiny little pearls that you pour over your nails while the nail varnish is still wet so that it'll coat them. Definitely do it so that you're pouring it over like kitchen paper or something, so you don't waste all the bits that fall down, because you do waste a lot, and that's why mine is so patchy. But I'll just zoom in to show you. So hopefully that's in focus. Those are the pearls on very badly on my wet nail varnish. I just was scared to add too much because I wasn't pouring it over anything I could collect them for, and I was scared of wasting loads. But it's a really cool idea, and the picture, that's how it looks like there. So they're basically just like loads of little kind of pearly looking things. You could use them, I'm sure, on your face, just like applying them with glitter glue or whatever as well. Just be careful around the eyes, I suppose, like with everything else, but they're just really, really cute. In the promo picture you could see them covering the entire nail, and it looks really, really effective. I really like the look of it, so that's really class. So the price of those, you had the nail varnish was $2.99, and then the pearl thingy-majiggy, the little 3D nail effects, was $3.49. So again, Catrice is just such an affordable brand, and the reason I love it is not just because it's so affordable, is because the quality is so, so good. I was actually kind of put off getting this for a long time because this guy here, which is the BB cream by Catrice, and it's their newest kind of foundation, is the reason the matte foundation, which I absolutely loved, was discontinued. This kind of overtook it, or came into kind of stand in for it, and I was a little bit bitter over that because I love that foundation so much. It's not on my desk at the moment, but I just thought it was silly replacing such a great matte foundation with the BB cream, because obviously they're such different things. So I was put off buying this for a long time, but I gave in and I picked it up. So the BB cream is $6.49. and I got it in the same colour. It seems to be in the same colour range as the matte foundation, number 010 light beige. The only thing is, when I swatched it in the pharmacy, I'm not sure if it is going to be quite as pale as the other one was. And I'll be interested to see the coverage. You can see all my blemishes pretty much now, I think, in this lighting. So we'll see how it goes. This says to balance, so as in reduce shine, minimises visible pores, discoloration, that kind of stuff. It has a UV protection of 30 in it. I don't know if it's UVA as well, it just says UV. And then it illuminates, conceals and moisturizes. So it sounds like a great product if it can do all those things. I'm just going to use my fingers because that's usually what I do with BB creams to start off with. And that's the colour there. It's quite a grey toned colour, which I quite like, but I think that's normal with BB creams. This goes on really lovely. It goes on like a foundation more than a BB cream actually. It's got a really nice texture. It's quite creamy. Colour wise I actually quite I really like the colour. This is actually bang on for what I'd need as like a Nancy 15 kind of shade. So that's the 010 beige, light beige I think. Yeah, light beige. And because it is moisturising, I will put it up underneath the eye. The BB creams, the ones that aren't like overly oily absorbing, they are kind of designed to be used underneath the eye as well. So I'd say it's definitely light to medium coverage. It's quite a lovely coverage actually, so I might have to bite my tongue in my bitterness towards this product at the start. It's going on really, really lovely. It's about the same price as what the foundation itself was, the other one that I loved. Obviously this has more of a sheen to it, it has a dewy finish, but it's lovely. And I do love a nice dewy finish foundation. And I also, this is the reason, one of the reasons I actually thought of going in here today. I read a blog post about this guy here this morning, which is, give me a second, I'll open it. So this is the new Camouflage Cream, if you can see that there. And this I've heard a couple of people now raving about on the internet. I went for the lightest number 10 Ivory again, and I love it because it is a yellow tone concealer, so it'd be great for blemishes. And when I swatched it on the back of my hand in the store or in the pharmacy, I was surprised at how opaque the coverage seemed to be, as in there seems to be quite a lot of pigment in it, which it can be rare for, well, high street makeup in general or pharmacy makeup in general, but particularly for such an expensive makeup. And I do want to reiterate that Catrice is very, very inexpensive, but it's good quality. Like, you'd be really shocked at the quality of the stuff you get for the price. So I'm just kind of bouncing this over more problematic areas. That's a really, really lovely concealer. I'm very, very impressed. So that is $3.49 and I got the lightest colour. So there were two other shades as well. So I think it could go up to kind of a medium tone or a medium shade foundation or skin, and nothing too dark. Unfortunately this doesn't really cater for the darker skin. And then I also picked up a light reflecting concealer for under the eyes. Again, I kind of really was impressed by how well this seemed to just swatch. You can get a, you know, especially when you're used to swatching and you know what a bad product kind of is and what a good product seems to be. This seemed to be a really good product. It impressed me on the back of my hand just because it seemed to be, again, decent coverage, which a lot of these like illuminating concealers don't always have, but it didn't, I don't know how to describe it, it just felt really lovely and smooth and didn't feel like it would be drying at all, because I actually have come across some of these that can get a little bit dry under the eyes, which is kind of like the opposite of what they should be doing. This is another one of Catrice's new products as far as I know. The tester for this hadn't even been used. I was like twisting it for ages in the store to get it up, because I find these ones where you twist it up to get it up into the brush applicator, it takes ages at the very start. So you have to be careful then not to go overboard and have too much come out too soon. But it's one of their newest products. So the Catrice or the Camouflage Cream is new, this guy is new, and there's a couple other new things as well that I got. So they all seem to have come out recently. And that BB cream has been out for a wee while, but it is still relatively new. This is one of the more expensive of the products that I got. This guy cost $4.49, but I'm expecting it to be quite good. So I never apply it with the actual brush on these things. I just, well, sometimes I will, but I just clean it with alcohol. I'll just generally put it on the back of my hand and apply it that way. But of course you can use it with a brush. This, again, I got the lightest colour. The lightest colour was like a pinky colour. So that is Porcelain, and then there was an ivory colour as well, which was more kind of yellow, and then there was another kind of medium peachy yellow, I think, or something like that. So the pink one, the Porcelain one, I wanted to get because obviously pink is quite brightening, particularly for the eye area. But if you're very, very purple around your eye area, go for the yellow toned one, because yellow will counteract purple. But just even looking at the difference there, it really perfects the area. It's gotten rid of that dark deep shadow I have here on the inner corner, but I may need to go for a second layer. I used to always favour brushes for applying concealer, and I still would, definitely for blemishes or anywhere else on the face, but I've really kind of come to, I don't know, prefer applying it with my fingers. I usually use 3 fingers, one to apply, one to spread, and then one to take away any excess. And I find it just works better. but for the creamier concealers that you really need to buff in around the area of your face, I'd use a brush. And then we're just going to reapply there in that darkest area. Yeah, that's made a world of difference to the eye area. I really, really like it. And it's not at all obvious on the face, and I'd be interested to see then if it does kind of, you know the way after a few hours of wearing concealer around the eye area sometimes, even if it's not particularly cakey or anything like that, it can still kind of make the lines look a little bit linier after a few hours. So we'll see if that happens there. But that's that guy on. And then I also picked up a new, this is another new product, it's an eyeshadow base. So I have a couple of their made to stay eyeshadow, like cream eyeshadows, and I really, really love them. I use them as bases and they have colours to them, and I think they're lovely. I've used them in loads of different tutorials before in the past. I think this guy was $4.49 as well, from what I can see on my receipt, and it's a very light kind of yellowy cream colour. It reminds me of a Bobbi Brown cream eyeshadow I used to have before in Ivory, I think, or in Bone actually. But it's kind of hard to explain. It's quite a gel feeling. It's not opaque the way MAC paint pots are. Like, it kind of looks like maybe soft ochre in the pot, but it's much more sheer, and it has more of that kind of slight sticky feeling, so it's going to really grab onto whatever eyeshadow you put on top of it. It's bunching up a tiny bit, but you can kind of just get rid of it, rid of any excess with a clean finger. So this isn't going to offer any concealer or coverage, or, you know, it's not really going to particularly take away redness. Well, not maybe a tiny bit, but nothing worth mentioning. It does have kind of a funny texture. It is a little bit kind of moussey. Fixes eyeshadow and makes it waterproof, so at least it has benefits beyond just being an eyeshadow primer. And you know what? What's kind of weird is I can kind of feel my eyelids tightening a tiny bit as it's setting, I suppose, which means that it probably does set on the lids then, and that would probably explain the waterproofness. So I'm going to try and apply these quickly before it dries. I got this gorgeous Vanilla Sky Ride eyeshadow, and it's one of their mineral wet and dry intensify eye wet or dry eyeshadows. How beautiful is that? They kind of have veining through them. They remind me of some of the MAC Same Mineralized eyeshadows, but it's a bit smaller. This would be a 0.8 gram product, and this is $4.49 as well, as far as I can tell. So I'm just going to use just any generic eyeshadow brush and apply this as my highlight. I was impressed by how well this came out on the back of my hand in the store. That's why I picked it up. So there is slightly more, like, it's quite a white, maybe like Nylon or something like that by MAC highlight, but there is a little bit of a gold veining going through it, so I'm just going to use that on the inner corner. Yeah, and that's lovely. That's definitely turning up quite gold. Even though you can use these wet, and I will for the sake of, say, a blog post in the future or whatever, I just don't really like to because I worry about ruining them in the container. But I also picked up this other eyeshadow, which I think was $165. Whoa, that wasn't really white. This is $165. This is a new shade. It's number 640, Don't Touch My Maserati. Absolute eye colour. I have a few of these other eye colours and I'm really impressed with the payoff. So I'm just going to apply this using this eyeshadow brush first of all. For less than €2, these are phenomenal eyeshadows. And Catrice is one of those brands that seem to be quite, oh, it's fallen down a little bit. You seem to be able to trust the quality quite a bit. You don't want, even though they are very inexpensive, it's quite a reputable brand. So you're not going to have to worry about like too many nasties in the products themselves. Yeah, it's funny, you can actually feel the eyeshadow base like really grabbing onto the eyeshadow. So that's that guy. It's a really beautiful green colour, emerald green. Let's pop this on here quickly and then I'll be right back to you. So I just evened up the two eyes there. I didn't worry too much about getting it perfect, so don't look too hard at my eyeshadow. And I just applied a little bit more concealer under the eye because there was fallout. The last few bits then, quickly I got another one of these Catrice toppers or pencil pairs or sharpeners or whatever you call it, pencil sharpeners, because I already have this one and it's literally the best sharpener I've tried in a long time, which sounds a bit daft because it's just a sharpener. That cost $2.49, but I do find that sharpeners tend to break quite easily on me, like the ones you just get in the pharmacy or whatever, and it's a pain in the backside. And this comes with 2 different sizes for your pencils, and it's just brilliant. So I picked up another one of those. Then I got this eyebrow filler. So I have a couple of their, this one's really manky looking, but they're Lash Brow Designer Gels, which is just a clear gel, which I use to keep my hairs in place. But this is more like the MAC, say, brow sets that are coloured. So this one was $3.99, and it only came with the one kind of brownie colour. So it's basically like a coloured mascara for your eyebrows. And I'm just going to pop this on. Quite nice. It is like a taupey brown colour. You can see there it's really defining the eyebrows without making them look unnatural. So it's a really lovely natural eyebrow product. But again, I only saw the one colour, so I assume you'd have to kind of be either very dark blonde, or you could be dark like me and like to lighten your eyebrows a tiny bit. So I suppose just the very, very blonde haired people might need to avoid it. So that's really nice. It's just called the Perfecting and Shaping Gel. It's basic, that seems to be pretty nice. Then I also picked up this powder. So this guy was $4.99, a slightly more expensive product, but for what it is, it's really lovely. There it is. It's just an illuminating powder. It's called the Prime and Fine. So that's kind of like this range. I have their Prime and Fine illuminating base as well, which I used in my last tutorial. That's lovely. So it seems to be kind of in that little range of products, and I'll just it's like a pinky illuminating powder. I'm not sure how well it'll show up because my face is quite shiny already. I'd say it would show up better if I had mattified my base first and then maybe just reapplied highlight where I need it. Actually no, I can see it. It's funny because it looks pink in the pan, but it has a beautiful gold iridescence to it. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's really lovely. That's the Prime and Fine highlight powder for a luminous glow. And then the final thing, and this is like a lip balm colour thing in one. It's very like, if anyone knows the new the new Benefit concealer that's out, that has the conditioning like ring around it, and then it has the concealer in the centre. This is like the same thing, but it's for your lips. So it is like a goldy, just a goldy kind of natural coloured lip balm. So the pigment is on the inside and then the conditioner is around the outside, and this cost, yeah, $4.99. Is it? $4.49. This is from the limited edition collection like this guy, so it will only be there for a short while. The lip balm stick in Bring Me Peach CO1. It's part of the Candy Shock collection again. So there was 2 colours I think of these lip balms, but they have other lovely products in that range as well. It smells divine. It has a really, really sweet smell. Yeah, it's just a really nice lip balm. There's not really much to say about it. You get that much product in it, so it looks to be like a normal lipstick, which is handy because the lip balms where you have to like dig in your finger to get stuff out can be a bit annoying, especially if you haven't had a chance to maybe wash your hands before you need it, or you don't have like a wipe to clean your hands with, just for hygiene reasons. But yeah, that's really, really nice little product as well. So that's all the bits I got today. I really like the Catrice brand, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to zoom out for you quickly. Yeah, so that's everything, and like I said, I really love this cameo hairband thingy-majiggy. Ignore my hair, it's in an absolute state as well. I just didn't really feel like doing much with it. But yeah, they're the new products, Catrice products. I'll list everything on my blog along with the prices again. And yeah, so in the meantime, I'll see you really soon for another video, and I'll chat to you then. Slán!